You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Oh, it's good to be back.
If they'd like. Play clock is at 1. They just got it away on 3rd and long. Watch out! Picked off. There's Wright down the sideline. Gets a block. And now a touchdown. The former Vikings. Pick 6.
They're expecting the ball to come out quicker than what it did.
McCarthy. Pass is caught. Spinning grab by Aaron Jones. And somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings are on top.
Oh, man, what a turnaround for the Minnesota Vikings. I know some of you Skip Bayless and some of you other idiots out there wanted to hang this guy out or to dry at the end of the first half. Rookie starting his first game, basically. I know his second year. Anyway, we're going to get into it. The Vikings come back, win in dramatic fashion over the Bears. Welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. It's going to be an incredible show today. I promise you that. We got a lot going on, dissect and analyze what happened between the Vikings and the Bears. We're going to talk about my Patriots, and my God, they cannot lose this game this week in Miami. That team, the Dolphins, look like the worst team in the NFL. There's lots of reaction locally and regionally that is just crapping all over them. And I feel like I must play some of the video today and the audio as well. Thanks for following us here. We're going to hear from Mario Cristobal as well from the Miami Hurricanes. Red Sox and the Phillies both win in shutout fashion last night. We'll have an MLB rundown today as well, I promise. Hector Longo is going to join us from the Eagle Tribune covering the Patriots. That's coming up at 8:05 a.m. We got lots of NFL, college football news, MLB rundown, and really that's just about it. We'll get Mike Vrabel's response to Bill Belichick stuff, the babbling that's going on with him, and it certainly looks like half-truths or slash lies by Bill Belichick. And Mike Vrabel straightened that situation out on WEEI yesterday. We have that highlight and a whole lot more. Thanks for checking us out across the Coastal Sports Network, awesome digital platform on Twitter X at PShep326, following me on the Facebook pages, on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSDN Florida, Odyssey. Welcome, Odyssey members. Been going on a week and a half now. It's fantastic. LinkedIn. And finally, call or text the show at 727-858-6650 is the number to call. Angel Martinez is back in the house. Good morning, Angel, making the trip from...
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our...
Oh, I do, but it's okay. It happens.
Going to commercial break that quick, but no. Good morning, Peace. That's what happens when you drive overnight and then you forget certain things. But no, good morning. Fun to be back. Long trips, 2,700 miles up to Illinois, Wisconsin, and then back. And the mountainside is always fun to go through when you go through Tennessee mountains and different places. But long couple of days, felt like forever. Missed obviously a lot of good, important stuff, minus the USF win, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back home. It's good to be back in warm weather because holy crapsies, was it cold up there, and we were not ready for it. So
you told me it was, I mean, you texted me Friday. I knew you weren't, I don't know what time of Friday. You said you got there, and it was 40 degrees or something like that.
It was 48 stinking degrees. And
but the wind was blowing.
Yeah, the breeze didn't help any whatsoever. I was still in my shorts, T-shirts, just had on a light jacket nonetheless because I can't. Me and pants were not a good mix, but even throughout the weekend, I still end up busting out the shorts and all up until the wedding, and then obviously put on pants. But no, it was, and it's funny because you speak to a couple of people up there, and it's like, oh, it was just so refreshing because we had a couple of days where it was like 85, almost 90 degrees. So this is good to feel like you guys don't get warm weather that often. So it's funny to hear people wanting cold weather all the time versus just like some warm air. But nonetheless, it was good time, fun, family, friends. And a lot of new people I ended up meeting and ended up doing a wedding cast, which is always a lot of fun to do for the first time. So I'm pretty sure somebody will steal that idea. But it was good. It was a good time.
copyrighted. Like Bill Belichick tried to copyright four different things, like Gold Digger and Chapel Bill and all that stuff, and got rejected 4 times. I don't think you get rejected, but we'll see. Well, what a game last night. I thought I was going to fall. I had a hard time. I didn't fall asleep till like 3 o'clock this morning. I'll be honest with you. I've been battling this stupid cold, and I feel fine. I just can't. I go through these coughing fits that it keeps me up. And then I took a little bit of medication, which I usually don't do, and then got the bed up in the right spot, and blah 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 blah. And but couldn't fall asleep. But just as well, because the game last night was absolutely phenomenal. Good morning, Trevor. It's a Jerry Jones Media Day. Yeah, we'll look forward to that. But we got so much to talk about. And Trevor at WQAM sent me some great Mike McDaniel cuts. We have some video as well. And the Miami Dolphins are at the bottom of the NFL right now. That's where they are. And that's why my Patriots cannot go down there. I know for a lot of the games, it's been a house of horrors. And I know Mike McDaniel has had their number lately. They cannot go lose this thing. Because I'm telling you right now, my gut feeling tells me that if the Patriots go down there and win on Sunday, Mike McDaniel's out. He's barely hanging on. His pedantic blathering of explanations is absolutely ridiculous. We'll get to all that, but we got to lead with the Vikings. Again, we'll have an MLB rundown, give you the Red Sox highlights and the Phillies highlights from last night and everybody else that played. But what a game last night on Monday Night Football. Let's just go through the highlights right here. The Bears take the lead in the first quarter. They strike first.
They're down in 6. Williams, a lot of room, looking for the end zone. He is in.
Caleb Williams with a rushing touchdown. I got to tell you, early on, Ben Johnson, you could tell that the Chicago Bears looked very different from last year's Bears. More confident, very good. Caleb Williams looked good. He looked comfortable early on. So it's 7-0 there. The Vikings get a field goal. And then I want to make sure I get these cuts in order here. All right, let's head to this. It's 7-0. It was a low scoring game at halftime with the Bears leading 10-6, 10-6, and the Vikings under McCarthy could not get it going. And he's a rookie quarterback. He was going to struggle early on. It's going to take a few series to get it going. Skip Bayless, after this play that I'm about to play, went on, made a jackass out of himself, but what else is new? We didn't need this. But anyway, let's head to the third quarter, okay? And Nashawn Wright with this pick 6.
As they'd like. Play clock is at 1. They just got it away on 3rd and long. Watch out! Picked off. There's Wright down the sideline. Gets a block. And now a touchdown. The former Vikings. Pick 6.
Oh, yeah, 17-6. All hope is lost for the Vikings, right? J.J. McCarthy may never complete another pass in the history of the NFL. Absolutely ridiculous until...
Good protection over the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. Jefferson. And he breaks out his first gritty of the 2025.
That cut the lead to 17-13, and then let's head. That was in the fourth quarter, and now let's head to the fourth. Keep going to the fourth quarter.
They're expecting the ball to come out quicker than what it did.
McCarthy. Pass is caught. Spinning grab by Aaron Jones. And somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings are on top.
Yes, they were on top. And they scored another touchdown. They go up 27-17. They hang on. They win 27-24. The end of the game, you had to watch it right until the end. And Angel, if we could impose upon you right away to scroll down on the a few, and it's down a bit. I want everybody to see this play. It's under Jordan Schultz, and this was the last play. Great clock management by Kevin O'Connell, a great coaching by O'Connell, and it's under Jordan Schultz. And this is the right before the 2-minute warning. They were trying to kick the ball out of the end zone. Obviously, the Bears were. They didn't have any timeouts left. Oh, they had one timeout left besides the 2-minute warning, okay? Now, this is coaching. This is great special teams coaching as well. Let's just run it, Angel.
Look at the eyes of Chandler. He's checking with the sideline. And who does he find? Kevin O'Connell over on the sideline saying, come on out, Ty. We need to get this game clock under 2 minutes.
That's pretty good. I just wonder if Kevin O'Connell told him before he went out, hey, you
Look at the eyes.
Okay, that's great job by Kevin O'Connell and Matt Daniels, the special teams coach. Right there, that made all the difference in the world. At least it really cut it really limited Chicago what they could do, and they couldn't. They did get the ball back. By the time they got the ball back, because the Vikings ran the clock out and they had timeouts left and did great clock management. There's only 9 seconds left or something like that, and they only had a play, and they tried one of those crazy plays, and it didn't work out. But the Minnesota Vikings hang on. They win 27-24. A really, really very, very impressed with J.J. McCarthy, more so because of the struggles that he had in the first half. And into the second half, really, he had that pick six. So it looked grim. And right after that, it seems like they got lit a fire under their butt. But he was 13 of 20, 143 yards. Jefferson and Jones each had 44 yards receiving. It had to be frustrating initially. Again, excuse me, I'm still battling my cold here. With Jefferson not getting a lot of touches in the first half, but you got to hand it to the Minnesota Vikings coaching staff, which I think is one of the best in the NFL all the way around. I mean, Kevin O'Connell. And once Brian Flores started to blitz a little bit more, he didn't do it a lot in the first half, a lot of chess match going on, but it was only 10-6. And then they get down 17-6. That wasn't Brian Flores' fault. That was J.J. McCarthy's fault on that pick six. But after that, all of a sudden, things started to change. And the momentum switched to the Vikings. McCarthy started completing a lot more passes, looked very comfortable, didn't get down on himself. The team didn't get down on him. And Brian Flores started blitzing Caleb Williams, and he couldn't handle it. It was a tale of two halves for both quarterbacks. By the way, Caleb Williams had his first career rushing touchdown and threw for a score in Ben Johnson's debut. But it wasn't enough. McCarthy down the stretch was absolutely fantastic. He really was. I hope Bayless after the pick six was like the Bears, the Vikings are done, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know why people. I don't know if it's fantasy football related or what. People have shekels. Give the guy a chance, meaning J.J. McCarthy. Give him a chance. All the guy has ever done in his life on the football field is won. That's all he's done. Go look at his high school track record. I know he didn't get to throw a lot at Michigan because they had the best running game, one of the best running teams in the country that I've ever seen. So you never really saw what he could do on his arm. He won a national championship. All the guy has ever done is won. And I was very impressed with the poise. As usual, I say it all the time. We learn about teams in every sport when things are not going well. Where is the character? It's really great when everything's going well for any team in any sport. It's great. He's great. That great. It's really easy to say you suck, they suck, he sucks when things aren't going well initially. And then you have a guy like this with that coaching staff. And it's not that I didn't have my doubts, but I knew he was going to figure it out. I knew he'd figure it out in the second. I was a little after the pick six. I was like, okay, let's see what happens here. And came right down. They came right down the field and scored, made it 17-13. And then it wasn't too long after that. They went up 20-13, 20-17, and then it was 27-17. And that was pretty much it. The Vikings were in the Bears' head, and that was it. After the game, that kickoff return, Ben Johnson, head coach of the Bears, talked about that Cairo Santos was told to kick the ball, trying to kick the ball anyway, out of the end zone.
Were you hoping that kick was going to go out of the end zone?
Yeah, the intent was for the ball to go out of the end zone.
And was there, did you guys consider onside kick? I mean, how did that?
Yeah, it did. We felt like if we had kicked it out of the end zone and gotten the 3-and-out that we got, we would get the ball back with around 56 seconds.
These guys.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen. That did not happen. The Vikings ran another play. And then the Bears used their last time out, and basically it was great clock management by Kevin O'Connell. They just ran the clock out. By the way, here's Ben Johnson's opening statement.
All right. Obviously, disappointing way to start the season there for us. We just have a 17-6 lead and then see it go the way it did there in the fourth quarter. We said going into week one that the team that would make the least number of mistakes would win the game, and unfortunately we were on the wrong side of that. We made too many there late in the game, myself included. There were a number of things that I could have done better, a number of things that a number of guys could have done better. When you look down at the stat sheet and you see 12 penalties, that's got to get cleaned up in a hurry, and yet we've been saying that all training camp as well. So.
All right, there's some of Ben Johnson. Meanwhile, let's go to Justin Jefferson on what happened last night, particularly in the second half.
I loved what you said on Countdown with RC and Swag about when you were a younger receiver, it was hard for you to understand how to be a vocal leader because it wasn't really your role.
Yes.
But now clearly you understand that's what you are as one of, if not the best receivers in this game. What's the message to your group now about, and especially your quarterback, because this is a big night, but it's only the first step in what is a long journey. So what words do you share with your group after this?
So many words, and there's so many things that went well on this field, and there's so many different things that didn't go well on this field. So it's just all about knowing that we're going to go through adversity, knowing that we're going to hit those roadblocks throughout the game sometimes.
Right.
But it's all about keeping our head up, keeping that confidence, keep going every play at a time. And, I mean, it's just great to come in here away to get a victory like this. It's very, very special.
Yeah, no question about it. And that was from ESPN last night on Scott Van Pelt post-game show. So McCarthy finished 13 of 20, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that pick six. Caleb Williams, 21 of 35, 210, and a touchdown, no interceptions. And I thought overall Caleb Williams looked a hell of a lot better than he did last year. I think the Bears are going to be okay. I do. It's the game. You're up by 10 points against a team like the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, you got to find a way. Or 17. You got to find a way to win that game. But I give the Vikings coaching staff all the credit in the world. And Brian Flores, it was like he was waiting, to bang, pounced on, started blitzing Caleb Williams. Didn't do it a lot early on, and just waited, and they were absolutely, without a doubt, the Vikings outcoached the Vikings outcoached the Bears down the stretch. That is a big reason why they won. It really was. And I've said it, we've said it for a couple of years now. I think the Vikings have arguably one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL, top to bottom. They do.
So, listening to it inside the car, obviously you could hear the first half where it was slow to start with, and then it picked up obviously a lot in the fourth quarter. But does this kind of, for 1 week, I know it's used a lot during the media, but so J.J. McCarthy comes back after the injury, makes his first game debut. Does this kind of kill some of that noise where he's not good enough? What are the Vikings going to do? All that good fun stuff.
Well, look, I think it's reasonable to question any rookie quarterback in his first game. And that's what he's basically right. He didn't play last year. And because he didn't get to, this was my argument at the time. I knew he was an athlete. I knew in high school he threw for fucking gazillion yards and tons of touchdowns and won several state championships. I knew how good he was. And when he did get to throw the ball at Michigan, we saw how good he was. He just never had to carry the team on his back with the Wolverines, even through the national championship season, because they had such an awesome running game. We really didn't know what he could do when the shit hit the fan, basically. And right out of the gate, things don't go well. He picks six, not in the first quarter, not in the second, in the third quarter. It makes it 17-6. And then I was like, this is where I said, Pete, this is where I wanted to see him. You find out the character of the team. The Vikings did not fold at all. If anything, he got pissed and got stronger. And there is something about him. And they brought it up several times during the broadcast. I don't know how it sounded on Westwood One on the radio, but several times in the broadcast brought up his parents' name, who escaped me, and how he was raised. There is something, I think, they're going to be very special about J.J. McCarthy. Not one game does a season or career make, but I think if you're a Vikings fan, you got to be really happy because I think there is something special about that kid. I really do. As my nose continues to run away. All right, 27-24 final. Vikings beat the Bears. You had next week, Vikings will host Atlanta on Sunday, and the Bears visit defending NFC North champion Detroit on Sunday as well. People forget, I mean, the Vikings won, 14 games last year? except the Lions. Remember, it came down to the last game of the season.
Yep.
The Lions won. It ended up feeling disappointing, but there is a reason why. You look at Kevin O'Connell and look what he is doing, and look what he did with Kirk Cousins. And I think they made the right decision. I wasn't entirely sure at the time, but they made the right decision. And look what he did with Sam Darnold. I mean, he's a great coach. I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's a great coach. I guess to be a great coach, technically, people say you have to win Super Bowls. No, I think he's a great coach. I think the Vikings are in good hands. I think the Vikings are in good hands. And Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. I don't expect him to be in Minnesota next year. He'll get another head coaching job. Wouldn't it be cool if Miami rehired him? No, that will never happen. But nevertheless, 27-24, Vikings win there. All right, let's see. I want to cram as much video in as I can. Let's go to the Patriots. And the Patriots now 8-28 in their last 36 games. They haven't scored 30 points in 46 games. And they had a lot to work on. They left at least 10 points on the field. Overall, I was not happy. Nobody could possibly be happy overall what you saw. Drake May was okay. Could have been better. Missed too many receivers. 4 for 14 on third down. Says a story right there. And the Patriots held the Raiders to three and outs in the second half. And could only get 3 points out of it. I mean, it was just that's a problem.
Right.
You know, they're going to work on that. But Angel, I will tell you right now, I cannot and will not. If they lose to Miami this week, and you know Miami has it's just Charlie Brown coaching, and I think that team gave up. I mean, I don't think they were prepared. I don't think they have any faith in the coach. None of that stuff. Tua laughing on the sideline the other day after throwing an interception, and all for some reason it was kind of goofy funny. I never understood that. Brought it up yesterday. That team just looks like crap, and I don't think they have a lot of respect for their coach because you don't come out and play like that. Tyreek Hill throwing a little fit at the end or during the game, which is totally expected. But the Patriots should smell blood in the water. I don't care where it is. It's in South Beach. And go to Hard Rock on Sunday and win and get that win. And I don't think if they win and I don't care if it's 7 to 10 point, whatever it is. I mean, I'll take a 2-point win, a 1-point win. I'm not going to be beggars can't be choosers. But I think that Mike McDaniel may not survive Sunday if they lose to the Patriots. But I want to get to the controversy, not controversy. If we could scroll down, Angel. Under Carlos Lopez, Will Camp, Mike Vrabel. I'm sorry, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one afterwards. I'll play the audio cut from here. But let's get right under Carlos Lopez for Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel on left tackle Will Campbell and left guard Jared Wilson. We'll get to that in a second. I want to play this from Mike Vrabel, also from the Patriots, on Bill Belichick banning scouts because he isn't welcome at the facility.
All the scouts onto campus to scout as players.
Again, nothing surprises me. I would imagine that that Bill, I mean, he came back for, the best of my knowledge, Tom's ceremony, so that I guess he's welcome back based on the fact that he was there. So I'll just go by that. Since his departure as the head coach here, he's been back. And I'll leave it at that.
Has he maybe been out shopping or something at Patriot Place and not allowed to walk?
I don't know.
Does his key card still work?
Well, no. When you get fired, the key card does not work. I tried it. I went back to Tennessee. It doesn't work.
No. They call that a Mancini.
No, the fingerprint doesn't work. The key card doesn't work. No, that's not how it happens.
All right, Mike Vrabel right there. Okay, let's play the video. This is Mike Vrabel, also on WEEI and Greg Hill's show with the left tackle Will Campbell and left guard Jared Wilson?
I thought it was steady. I thought there were some good plays. I don't think there were any, a couple movement times in a run game. Him and Jared might have got disjointed. But I thought that they, played okay on the left side. I think it was a good place to start for two rookies, playing their first game on the left side of the line. I didn't think it was
penalty costly when you have that forward.
Yeah, I mean, again, taking that out, I'm talking about the course of the game. Yeah, the mistake in critical situational football. Yes, but I'm just looking at the overall body of work that it didn't look like they were overwhelmed with a 21 and a 22-year-old on the left side of the line. I thought it was steady.
I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. I think a lot of it, Drake May had just missed some open receivers. He's got to be better. The numbers aren't bad. What he did, he threw 40 times or whatever it was, and 36 completions. But there's a lot there that needs to be tweaked, and I think it can be tweaked. And hopefully they'll get it going and tweak some of these mistakes before they play the Dolphins in Miami on Sunday. Again, 4 for 14 on third down. Penalties, 9 for 70 yards. They got to clean that up, and Drake May's got to look. Hopefully Gonzalez will be back. Not having him was something. Bowers was wide open. They were rushing 6 and not getting any pressure on Geno Smith at times. I mean, they got to figure that out. There were times in the second quarter where they did, and they sacked him, and they got to him. It just got to be a little more consistent. And I just don't want to see the Dolphins get any kind of momentum on Sunday with Waddle and Tyreek Hill, because somebody fell down or there was miscommunication on the coverage. I can't, Angel, I can't stress. I'm going to be like Josh Prey with the Florida Gators. By the way, I got to show you that video. You haven't seen it yet.
No.
We'll go down and replay it. In fact, if you want to scroll down and get to that, because it is absolutely, I want you to see it, because otherwise I'm going to forget. Keep scrolling down, you'll see it. Just Josh Prey. It's from yesterday. I only got to play the audio because you weren't here. But I physically, mentally, metaphysically will not be able to take it if the Patriots go down to Miami and lay an egg. And I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to. All right, in case you missed it, we're going to get to some college football a little bit later on. You got more NFL, and wait till you see Mike McDaniel and his explanation. It's just more Charlie Brown bullshit. Unbelievable. But USF upsets the Gators in Gainesville at the Swamp, 18-16. Well-deserved win. They crack the top 25. They're number 18 in the country. They come to play Miami in a huge game this week at Hard Rock, which will be at 4:15 on the CW. And we'll have some more sound from the USF side later on this week. Already have some stuff from Mario Cristobal. I know how serious, and as anybody should take, they should absolutely be taking this team seriously. I don't think USF's beating Miami in Miami, but they gave them a game for a half last year before they got destroyed. And the Gators, though, with all the goodwill Billy Napier built up, went away. And I don't want to say, I'm not taking anything away from USF's game plan, because this is what happens. We want to blame Billy Napier and want to blame DJ Lagaway for not doing enough for the Gators. And we never want to give enough credit to the other team. So there's a little, as usual, it's a little bit of both. But nevertheless, USF is in the top 25, which is fantastic. Number 18. We'll get to the rankings in a second. Here is our man from Immokalee, Josh Prey, absolutely having another epic meltdown. And you know what he doesn't do here? He doesn't, and at the end, it's, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but this is absolutely hysterical. Josh Prey breaking down after the Gators lose to the Bulls.
This is all I have. I have nothing else. Nothing. My hairline's receding. My stamina is terrible. I'm washed. I'm chopped. People calling me Unc. I have nothing else. This is all I have to sit down and watch football on Saturday, and the college team that I love to death, like literally give me heart palpitations. This is all I got. I ain't got nothing else. Nothing. For USF to come to Gainesville, Ben Hill, they came there. They didn't fly. They took a bus there. I have no tears to cry. I can make a slow song. I can make a cut. I have no tears to cry. No more. Billy Napier, I'm just a fan. You a family man. You seem like a great guy. You seem like a guy that just you don't want to lose, but you're losing. You're not trying to lose, but you are not winning. You ain't winning. You lose. I have nothing. I have nothing. All my friends' teams are winning. I have nothing. Nothing. I can't go to God about this. The Lord gonna look at me and say, that ain't got nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing.
Good Lord.
I have nothing. Oh, my God. That was the Whitney Houston song. Oh, my God. See, he didn't say, it wasn't one of those, so what happened? God's not a Gator fan at times?
Yeah.
What happened?
There was something that was funny. Because one of the games over the weekend I was listening to on Westwood One.
Yeah.
It might have been one of the college games, but I remember because you popped into my head when I forget who it was who won. Where the guy says, first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah. If it wasn't for him. And then the funny take was they asked him another question right behind it. It's just something like, what did you think about the opposing defense? This, that, and the other. Goes, apparently God didn't visit the locker room. I was dying. Like, that's a Pete line.
Yeah, God's always on the winning side, but obviously not a Gator fan. It's unbelievable. And speaking of college football, top 25, the new one came out yesterday. Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Oregon, Miami. For some reason, Miami stayed at 5, and Oregon jumped 2 spots over them to 4. Not a big deal. It's because Miami played Bethune-Cookman, and Oregon won their game as well, beating up on Oklahoma State 69-3. I mean, I've never seen Oklahoma State lose by 66 points. So anyway, Miami 5. Then it comes to Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame, Illinois, Florida State, top 10, 11-15. South Carolina, Clemson, Oklahoma, Iowa State, Tennessee, Texas, and Tennessee. And you have Texas A&M at 16, Mississippi at 17, USF at 18, Alabama at 19, and
sure. It happens. For those listening on the radio, Pete's taking a moment here, but there you go.
Yeah. It's all coming out. It's unfortunately on the show. We're Alabama at 19, Utah 20, Texas Tech, Indiana, Michigan dropped 6 spots, or 8 spots, I should say. An underwhelming performance they had at Oklahoma. No shame. They made it a game sort of at the end, but they lose. Auburn, number 24, and Missouri rounds out the top 25. So there you have that. All right, let's... I want to say we was going to take a break, but you know what? Let's... I'll look at a couple of responses on Twitter. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and then we come back. You have to see this video. I mean, Mike McDaniel trying to explain the patheticness that is the Miami Dolphins. And then we're going to have reaction from Rex Ryan, Darren Orlovsky. Who else we're going to have reaction for? Rex Ryan, Darren Orlovsky. We're going to have Emmanuel Acho as well, who works for from his podcast. And nobody has anything good to say about the Miami Dolphins, and rightly so. This is as wishy-washy an organization as you could possibly have at this point. But we will begin, Angel, when we come back from the break with Armando, yes, right there, and also have other cuts that Trevor Harris sent me as well. If we get to it, but this is basically the gist of Mike McDaniel and the absolutely ridiculous. I need closed caption. I need special Mike McDaniel closed caption to try to figure out exactly what he is trying to say. But we'll play that and a whole lot more. MLB rundown as well. We'll get to the Red Sox and the Phillies, both with shutout wins last night. All coming up here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Oh, come
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about Phil Casanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts. Is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles, and they got a big event coming up tonight. They're sponsoring at the Kowloon Restaurant in Saugus. Patriots #1 draft pick Will Campbell going to be there tonight between 7 and 9 p.m. signing autographs. Mail orders are welcome. Also, 7 to 9 p.m. last night at the Kowloon. Phil Casanetti's Sports World, great connection they have with the Kowloon for many, many years. But if you can't get to the Kowloon, make sure you get to Phil Casanetti's Sports World at 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call them at 781-233-7222 for more information. 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus, be there. If you want more information, it's also on my Facebook page as well. And overall, Overall, Will Campbell and the offensive line did a decent job. Can they do better? Yes. But I think a lot of it came down to the Drake May just not reading. He missed too many open men. I think he's trying to be, Mike Vrabel brought this up, he's trying to be too perfect. Just, sometimes don't think too much. Just do it. Go on instinct. So we'll see. Speaking of instinct and no instincts, Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is stuff that is just unbelievable. Actually, it shouldn't be. By the way, before we get to that, last night on Bill Simmons' podcast, he had cousin Sal on. He's part of like Jimmy Kimmel's Live, a hidden camera prankster and all that stuff. And he has his own podcast on FanDuel TV. Here are some names they came up with, new nicknames from Mike McDaniel. Coach McDungeons and Dragons. Coach One Day Closer to Death. Mike McWeirdo. Or Coach McDeath. That's a little harsh. Anyway, again, this is not personal with me, with Mike McDaniel. I don't know the man. I've never talked to the man. I'm going strictly from football instincts and what I have seen. And this guy is an absolute total joke. Absolute joke as a head coach. All right. Here is his opening statement yesterday at his Monday presser and trying to, I don't know, someone else can come up with an interpretation. Go ahead. Let's see what he has to say. Mike McDaniel.
I think we watched 93 out of the 136 plays as a team today. And that is not fun. Yesterday wasn't fun, but the point is that, that you want, you have to learn, and the NFL is a league of development and growth. And teams start out do it. First 4 weeks is generally wild because people are figuring out who they are. On paper who you think you're going to be, but in actual execution, who you are, and then molding themselves to that, and you have to continue to get better. I would say the good news and the positive is I don't see how it could be worse.
What?
And I also believe in the coaches and players to get it fixed because it wasn't. It's just a shame. It's you work behind the scenes for months on end, and you don't show any of it. It's frustrating, but that can be a good thing, and that's what I saw from the positive. I also, you could tell, as frustrating as it was, the team didn't splinter, and the effort still remained.
What?
There's things there, but overall, I'm not trying to, paint a glossy. I'll call it what it is. It wasn't, embarrassing. Not anything that paying fans sign up for.
What?
That last free shot.
WTF. What are you talking about?
That should be on the billboard, by the way. His picture right now.
Did you see Tyreek Hill throwing a little nutty on the side? Did you Splinter? It was a disgraceful effort from the get-go, buddy. From the get-go. All right, one more before we get to some more video. Some other people reacting even worse, even more critical than me. Let's see. There's more from Mike McDaniel.
There's more.
That was a lot more, but
I think the biggest thing, you learn it both ways. We've had our first 2 years here. I was doing the inverse. You're still doing it regardless. It's the same, where you're trying to get people connected to their game and develop it and grow the overall collective football as the season progresses, regardless. And I've had, the
fuck are you talking about?
Bad seasons with a lot of wins early. I've been the whole gamut. I think Atlanta, we lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the division, game 1, and we were in the Super Bowl that year. All things, it's 1 of 17, and with a showing like we had, to me, the key is that we, with absolute certainty, learn from it and utilize it in not just this season, but the very next game and moving forward.
Sriracha and toothpicks, please. Dun, 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 dun. What the hell are you talking about?
How is Miami still going?
You're bringing up that kind of stuff. And by the way, the Falcons were up 28-3 in the Patriots and lost. And if you were the offensive, one of the people in charge of coaching there at the end, he didn't want to run the ball. So you're part of that too. One more from Mike McDaniel, Angel, then I want to hear what you have to say.
I think we watched 93 out of the 136 plays as a team today, and that is not fun.
Yeah, okay. You already heard that one. All right. That's enough out of him. Angel, any thoughts before we get to some national reaction here on ESPN?
I want to know, what is Miami thinking, and how does Miami not know they are the joke of the NFL? I mean, Cleveland used to be the joke of the NFL. I think the Cardinals are kind of getting someone up there, even though I heard that they ended up pulling off a win over the weekend.
Oh, they know. The Cardinals are nothing like this team. This is the most dysfunctional team by far in the NFL, and the owner isn't going anywhere. So it's Chris Greer and Charlie Brown, Mike McDaniel here. Let's scroll down. Right under, let's see, which one, where I want to start. Let's start with, let's start, go down a ways, and it's under the Jordan Schultz. I want to start with Rex Ryan yesterday. Fair or not, and, when Rex Ryan agrees with my narrative, of course I'm going to play him. Being totally honest with you, but he's not wrong. He's saying a lot of things that some people that don't want to say. You see it? It's under Finn's Extra. No, you've gone way down too far. Way too far.
Finn's, go back up.
Rex Ryan and Mike McDaniel has some interesting nicknames for him.
Up, right here. Yep. Right by. All right, here we go.
It's from Get Up yesterday.
What the hell is he talking about? Maybe he's on a different level, McGenius guy, whatever the hell he is, nerd boy. But anyway, their team has no respect for the coach. They play like that. They're like, come on, man, get us a dang guy in here. Where's the physicality of this team? What did you say?
They're soft. They're soft.
They're soft. I'm with you on that. Every part of their football team. They have tons of talent on this team. Daniel, we were talking, that's why you picked them to win? Because they have tons of talent. Yeah. They don't play with any passion or any smoke to them. What the hell is he talking about?
All right, now let's scroll up, Angel. Just 2 down under the show and more from Get Up yesterday. Here's Darren Orlovsky on the Miami Dolphins and their pathetic loss to the Indianapolis Colts. Also on Get Up yesterday.
Right. Go. Back. And here we go.
Their tape was a mess. A mess. And you could blame everybody. You could blame the coaching. You could blame the players. There's blown assignments by everybody on offense. Tua's floating the ball for interception. There's a blown assignment by the right tackle on protection. There's a blown assignment by the back. I mean, this is a lack of preparation, a lack of understanding, a lack of commitment. They're getting outflanked on defense on a consistent basis by basic concepts by Indianapolis. This was a bad tape to watch. I'd also say this. One of the notes watching this game that I kept coming up with was, where is Tyreek? It was wild to see how many plays Tyreek Hill wasn't on the field. I accounted for him on the field, I think, 4 times on third down. How about this? Today is 1 year since Tyreek Hill has had a catch that exceeded 30 yards.
That's crazy.
That's his whole game. So
their tape was a
That's
mess.
unbelievable. Think about that. 1 year since Tyreek Hill had a catch of more than 30 yards. You hear that, Patriot people? Mike Vrabel and company, please. Let's just keep expanding that stat, shall we? All right, Andrew, if we could scroll down right under Mike McDaniel, Emmanuel Acho talking about how the Miami Dolphin roster on his podcast, it's just simply not good enough.
I don't see Mike McDaniel making it through the season. Players are a reflection of their coach. And while the Dolphins are incredibly fast, and while they might play an intelligent brand of football, they play a soft brand of football. And don't just take my words for it. Deshaun Elliott, former Dolphin safety, now with the Steelers, he said it. I don't mean it in a disrespectful form or fashion. They're a small, non-physical team. Your running back, A-Chain, he's a small player. Your wide receivers, Hill and Waddle, they're small players. Defensively, you got even small linebackers. Like, you're a small and not super physical team. So when you come up against teams that are either bigger than you or more physical than you, you end up getting punched in the mouth. When you come up against the Jonathan Taylor ends up gashing you. All of a sudden, Daniel Jones and the Colts gash you. This, to me, was one of the most embarrassing losses of the Miami Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa tenure. It was for sure one of the most embarrassing losses of the Mike McDaniel tenure. I don't know how many more days Mike McDaniel has. I think we've seen the peak of the Miami Dolphins because right now the roster is bad. Right now the culture is bad. Right now you could suggest the head coach is bad. What is good in Miami? I saw this coming before the season, and I for sure see it coming now, bro.
Yeah, no question. All right, one more as we pile on. A couple down under Fins Extra. Here's LaShawn McCoy on his podcast on Tua Tagovailoa as well, and on the Speakeasy.
And then the quarterback. I'm tired of him talking so much. I never thought he was that good anyway. You did. I never thought that.
I did.
I thought he had a baby arm because he had little arms. I thought he was a baby and I thought he was short. And I thought that he needed a certain coach to make him look good.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's the truth, though. I mean, you watching, though, right? Before he got Tyreek Hill and McDaniels with all this crazy offense, what was we talking about? They was talking about tampering with Tom Brady trying to get him down there.
Yeah.
And now we want to act like the real problem is Tyreek. No, he ain't the problem. Because in football, I learned this. I don't care what you got going on outside of football. When you hear, if you put touchdowns and points up, the NFL will deal with you. And that's Tyreek Hill. He's that good. Tua's not. Why he there? Yeah. Why they even pay him? Because you had like one real. I'm cooking right now. He had one good year for real playing wise, and number two, you always hurt, and you want all this max money. You tell me, Acho, because you like him. And then the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, all dead on ball's accurate. Here's the Varian Howard, by the way, had a lot to say about the Miami Dolphins and loved the win.
You know, me and Lou talked about it. I gave some tips to the offense, and Lou a hell of a defensive coordinator. So, he schemed some stuff up to get the guys in the position to make some plays. And man, emotional wise, I barely could sleep last night, the night before the game, because I was just thinking about like, man, how I'm gonna feel playing against my former team. And I went out there, got my feelings to the side, and kept it about the business, and we took care of business, like I said.
Yep, they did. Here's more from Xavier Howard.
Was there a part of you that wanted to just kind of show the Dolphins that they should have stuck with you?
Oh, for sure, man. We definitely wanted to. I wanted to put that out there, but as a team, man, we got the dub. We definitely didn't want them to score any points, but they got 8 points. But we definitely want to do a shutout. Coach Lou felt some type of way about it also.
All right, and one more on Tua.
Can you tell when a quarterback is confused and flustered? Because, Tua was patting the ball at times,
Most definitely. We knew the guy, he get the ball out pretty quick. And once we take away his first read, I feel like it's panic mode after that. And it showed yesterday, man. We took away his first read, and he was trying to get rid of the ball real quick.
Yeah, there you have it. Xavier Howard and the Colts just destroying the Miami Dolphins. And this is why I've already seen some tweets. Yeah, as bad as Miami is, I'll bet they beat the Patriots next week. Look, if they beat the Patriots next week, then I'll be at a complete loss. This team and Mike Vrabel, I'm sure, is going to drill it into these guys' heads, and hopefully Gonzalez will be back. I do not want any momentum by Tyreek Hill and company. It can't get much worse for the Dolphins. I guess if they got blown out the same way by the Patriots and we see the exact same effort out of Miami, there's no question, and the Patriots win by double digits, then he's not coming out of Miami with a job. He got fired right after the game. But I'm still, I don't know. I still don't know. The Patriots they got to play better than they did last week, and I think they will. They had some decent showings at times on both sides of the football, but not good enough. Not good enough. Too many blunders. Too many of them. They need to correct it, and Drake May has got to play better. And I want to see Travion Henderson get more touches, and I want to see I want to see for the Patriots, who was inactive, Efton Chisholm III. He was inactive on Sunday, and that's a guy that's going to be a spark plug. I mean, if he's had shitty practices all week and we're not there, I guess I understand that. But that guy needs to be active on Sunday in Miami. They got to get some spark, and hopefully he will be. All right. We continue with some NFL news here. Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud and a tough loss to the Rams. By the way, Angel, my picks last week. Starting with the Dallas Cowboys covering last Thursday all the way to last night, my first week, 16 games, I went 13-3 against the spread. 13-3 against the spread in the NFL. 2-3 in college football. But my best bet won with the Rams -3, and my underdog of the week won as well with Iowa +3.5 over Iowa State. Congratulations to me. 13-3. And one of my losses was my Patriots. So, very happy about that.
You're retiring tomorrow? That's good, though. 13-3, that's a hell of a start.
That's a great start. Hang on a second.
Man.
What am I getting here?
I'll take it. Don't forget. Now, let's not forget, folks, that as the season progresses, we'll see, because Pete likes to throw a lot of ones out there for free. And then if he gets it wrong, you get the rest of the entire season for free.
Yes. But that's not happening. There's not many handicappers going to go 13-3 like I did in all 16 games. But, of course, don't bet all 16 games. It's stupid. All right, here is Texas quarterback C.J. Stroud accusing the teams of lollygagging. Of course, remember, lollygagging became a famous line in Bull Durham, remember? You lollygag down to the ballpark. You lollygag. What does that make it, Jim? Lollygaggers. Well, C.J. Stroud, not happy.
Yeah, I thought the quick pass game was efficient. Thought the run game was efficient in ways. There's a lot of things that I think we didn't get to because of the negative play. So Nick kind of had his hands tied around his back. You know, it's hard to operate in 2nd and 20 and, those type of systems. And, that's something that, sadly, we've gotten used to, and we got to fix that here. We can't expect to win close games like that. So we got to just make plays. I think they made more plays than us. We got to come down with just better urgency, I think.
Got to get to thanks to the Texans webpage for that. Here's more from CJ talking about having more control.
Did everything we thought we were going to do. Yeah, so it was pretty on at least the passing game. They had the fronts we thought they were going to have, and I did it correctly. I think we missed. I missed one or two, and those are the points in the game where So I got to do a better job of being in control up there and helping those guys out to get the IDs correct. So. But other than that, I thought we did a decent job at it. I missed about 2. So, but I think then again, and I'm not trying to come with excuses, but it's our first game, first time in the system. We'll be better, and I trust in my guys that we'll be all right.
All right, we shall see. Russell Wilson keeping his job for one more week before Jackson Dart takes over, unless the guy simply can't play. And they should have went with Dart to start the season. But Brian Daboll, and going to give him one more game.
Do you intend to start Russell Wilson this week?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and after a game, it's an emotional game. It's a tough game. Didn't play particularly well, I would say, collectively, but in terms of making any of those decisions, really at any position or schematic changes, I'd like to, do it with a clear head and watch the tape. And again, like I said yesterday, that game just doesn't fall on Russell Wilson. You got to do a better job collectively, coaching, playing, but Russ will be the starter.
Oh, was that even ever really a decision for you?
Well, again, it's right at the end of the game, so I'm not going to say.
I mean, when you went back and watched it.
No, Russ will be the starter.
Okay, that's foolish of you. That's why I didn't think he should have kept his job or your GM. But it'll all be over sooner rather than later. If you don't put Dart in there, Russell Wilson is he's done. Jackson Dart should be in there. Should have been in there from the get-go. He's definitely the better quarterback on your team. But if you want to go into Dallas and lose and be 0-2 in a divisional game, that's fine, because I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Angel, if we could scroll down, going to do before Hector Longo comes on. If we could scroll down a little bit, let's do a little Red Sox, a little baseball MLB rundown here. And under Nesson, it's a no-doubter for Narvi. Last night in Portland, not Oakland, but Portland.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go.
Delivery. Swing, that one cracked high in deep left center field. That one is way, way back there, and she is gone. Home run, Carlos Narvaez, number 13. Sox with their second big fly tonight in Sacramento, and they lead it 4-0.
Told me a little hanger out here in Sacktown. A little launch mode to left center for Narvi. He's been swinging it lately now. Last 8, that's his 5th extra base hit, couple of homers. Good to see him getting going again offensively.
422 feet. He hit it.
It looked like he was out in front of it, too. I didn't know if he got all of it, but
delivery.
All right, Red Sox go on to win 7-0 last night. Garrett Crochet was outstanding, struck out 10 in 7 innings, and Red Sox have won a couple in a row. Gained a half game on the Blue Jays, just 3 games in back of the Blue Jays for the division. Meanwhile, Angels-Phillies in a huge series, another big series with the Mets, and they also pitched a shutout. Let's get to the only run of the game. Guess who?
For Nick Castellanos, and he shoots this one into right field, a base hit, make it 40. It's an RBI single, and the Phillies lead it 1-0.
Thanks to Sports Philadelphia right there. That's all the Phillies needed. 1-0. Nola was outstanding last night, returning to good form, and the Phillies blanked the Mets 1-0. They have an 8-game lead in the division. Elsewhere on the around Major League Baseball last night, Atlanta and the Cubs.
You should be playing tennis. You're too young for pickleball. It's an old man sport.
I do play that too.
No,
Matt Olson, center field. Does it have enough juice? Track, wall, goodbye. A splash into Chattahoochee Falls for Matteo.
Wow, kinky. Nothing like a splash in Chattahoochee Falls, Angel. Maybe I should jump in there, clean my sinuses. All right, the Braves go on to win, beat the Cubbies by a score of 4-1. Cleveland smashed Kansas City 10-2. Washington in a high-scoring game against Miami, they win 15-7. Texas blanked Milwaukee 5-0. Here's the big hit
You
here.
seen inside the park grand slam? I know it was a homer. I don't know if it was grand slam. There's a swing and a drive deep to left. That one is gone, and there's that grand slam.
All right, 5-0. Texas blanks Milwaukee. Minnesota clobbered the Angels 12-3. San Diego in 10 over Cincy 4-3. Seattle doubled up St. Louis 4-2. San Fran over Arizona 11-5. Dodgers got by Colorado 3-1. And just like that, Our first guest of the day, Hector Longo from the Eagle Tribune, joining us. Looks like a nice little crisp early fall day, although it's not really fall yet out there for Hector. Good morning, Hector. How are you?
Yeah, Pete, feels a little like fall out here. Honest to God, it's a little chilly, but we're doing okay. It's a you got to cherish these days in New England, Pete. It's not like where you are. You got to cherish these.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people down here would like to have some of that weather up there for just a little bit, but that's coming. It'll cool off here in another 3 weeks. It's been very hot and humid, but that's the way it is. I wouldn't even say it's a price you pay. It's just down here it's like living in paradise, as they say. So if it gets hot and humid for a couple months out the year, I don't give a shit because I know it won't be snowing in September, like it will in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
If this Patriot team, we're going to break it all down. The Miami Dolphins, as I've said, they're the worst team in the NFL. They proved it to me again. I don't think Mike McDaniel will survive should the Patriots go down there and win. I know Miami traditionally has been a house of horrors. I understand that, with the exception of a couple of errors here and there. I'm going to tell you right now, Hector, I won't be able, I'll have a spontaneous combustion, conniption, whatever. If they go down there and lose this game to this pathetic team and that Charlie Brown pathetic coach, I'm going to lose it. If they, for some reason, let Tyreek Hill and Waddle beat them in horrible, if somebody falls down, I don't want that team to get any momentum. I'm hoping, and I'm going a little diatribe, and then you have the floor. I'm hoping Mike Vrabel smells massive blood in the water, and the Patriots act like Jaws and just rip everybody apart like they should. This team, the Miami Dolphins, stink. There's a lot to clean up on the Patriots. What happened? I was overall very disappointed with some of the stuff. Some good things out there, but not enough good things that happened out there. And they need to go down to Miami and make a statement against this bumbling, fucking, idiotic, stupidly coached team. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
So tell us how you really feel, Pete. I don't get the McDaniel thing. Honestly, he kind of feeds into the look at me when you're spiraling like the Dolphins seem to be, and I don't know if it's the beginning of the spiral, the end of the spiral. You wonder if he should just shut up and just try and coach his football team. And he says things. You see sound bites coming out of Miami that make you think, wow, this guy has zero control of the program and what's going on down there. That's what makes this such a gigantic week for the New England Patriots. I mean, we all saw what happened on the field on Sunday in Foxborough. Like you said, it was a disappointment. I think in basically every aspect of the game was a disappointment. I think Vrabel kind of disappointed the people a little bit. I know May disappointed the people an awful lot. And it's a get right game, but you just hope that it's the Patriots are the team that are going to get right. Did they show enough today to make you think that?
I think the problems can be corrected. First of all, the offensive line overall, I thought played pretty well. That game was not on that. That was on Drake May missing some open guys and making a couple of bad decisions. He made some very good decisions, but at clutch time, made some bad decisions, particularly when they had, I think 3 straight 3-and-outs on the Raiders and got 3 points out of it. They got to do better than that. 4-14 on third downs. It's got to get better. And then 9 penalties for 70 yards as well. There's a couple of things that got to clean up. They left 10 points on the field in the first half, as far as I'm concerned. But it's correctable.
Pete, his second half was alarming. He looked okay in the first half. He looked in charge. Like he had things going on. The second half was nothing less than alarming. I think it was 59.3 rating. Yeah. He, like you say, he was missing guys badly, and only got pushed once. The one thing that a lot of people are overlooking is the fumble he had. That to me is, he had 9 fumbles last year, so you can't put the ball on the ground, and they got away with it. They got the ball back. Campbell pounced on the ball, but man, alive, the lack of respect for the football, the lack of attention to the football, that's an issue, for him. And I think there was plenty good to rally around a little bit. I think Kayshon Boutte's day 100-yard day receiving. A couple of other guys on the offense. Like you said, the offensive line was not bad. It was not bad. It might have been a C plus, but it was not a failing grade. Their offensive line actually played better than the Raiders' offensive line, to tell you the truth. And even though Geno threw for 360 somehow against that defense,
Again.
I
But what
thought
about the
their
defense?
offensive line outplayed the Raiders.
The defensive line was concerning the front seven. There were times they were rushing 6. They could not get the second quarter. They played better. Second quarter was the best quarter of the game. They got to him a little bit in the second quarter, but overall, how many times they're rushing 6? They can't get to him. No,
Yeah.
and I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. I thought that they would have a lot more pressure on Geno Smith. Bowers was wide open, and I mean Gonzalez not being there, I know hamstrings the rest of the secondary, even though he's not going to be covering Bowers, and I understand that. But too many wide open. Not 9 plays over 30? Was that 9 plays over 20 plus yards?
Yeah. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth right now after what happened here in New England back in the 90s, but give Pete Carroll credit.
Yeah.
He saw Jalen Hawkins and the rookie Woodson at safety, and he attacked the middle of the field. That was an offensive clinic right there. Right away. They from the first play. The first play was a deep ball down the middle of Bowers, and they just attacked the middle of the field, and the safety play did not respond whatsoever. It really wasn't the corners. I mean, Hawkins was beat on the touchdown. It wasn't Austin. Austin had a decent day replacing Gonzalez. He wasn't great by any stretch, but it was the safety play, and that was kind of scary. That was kind of scary the way that they have to play better down the middle of the field.
The other frustrating thing was if I had told you, because I would say the Patriots 24, Raiders 20, if I told you these two stats. You hold them rushing to 58 yards, even though the Patriots only rushed for 60, but you hold the Raiders to 58 yards and 20 points, I'd be like, okay, that's a 23-20, 24-20 Patriot win, if things went reasonably well. Instead, they leave 10 points on the field in the first half, and they ended up playing. But I mean, I thought Genty initially was going to rush for over. It looked like he was just going to torch them, and he didn't. He didn't. The team only rushed for 58 yards on the whole, but you factor in on offense, 4 for 14 on third down, and the penalties that they got, 9 for 70 yards, just huge. They got to be more disciplined. But if I told you that the Patriots were going to hold the Raiders to 58 yards and 20 points, wouldn't you have thought the Patriots probably would have won the game?
Yes, absolutely. But after the Monday night last night, I wanted to take a proof of the Patriots film. I tossed the Patriots film up on the computer again last night. Both teams, it was kind of an old school game defensively. Both teams were stacking the box and saying, no, your running game's not going to beat us. The Raiders weren't going to let Henderson and Stevenson beat them. And the Patriots were throwing 7-8 guys in the box and saying, we're not letting Genty beat us. And ultimately, that allowed Bowers to go off like he did. And Mike Mayer, the other tight end. Yeah. Myers had a good day, but the kid Meyer, whatever his name is, he had a couple of big catches that kept drives going in the second half. And I think that's because the Patriots were so focused on Genty.
Yeah, so correctable things. We'll get to the variable of Belichick stuff in a second, but overall, and Mike spoke yesterday, right? So were you down there yesterday when he spoke? So what was that? I only heard some of the stuff on WEI. I heard what he said about Campbell, and I heard what he said about the offensive line, and I agree. And then he said some other stuff about Belichick, which we'll get to. But what were your overall thoughts? What most concerns him going into this game?
So the one thing that kind of jumped out at me, I think, is, and he said it kind of in a throwaway line on Sunday after the game. He talked about they didn't take advantage of bad football.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back and doubled down on that comment again yesterday. And my thought on that is simple, Pete. They're not good enough because they play so much bad football right now that I don't think that he can say that. Good teams, winning teams say that. We're going to take advantage of the bad teams. Right now, they're in that pile of bad teams who I don't think are ready to take advantage of bad football. They have to focus more on playing good football. And when I say good football, I just mean no 9 penalties for 70 yards, and no turnovers. Smarter football, absolutely, Pete. And that starts with May. I think we saw it. You see it on Sunday night when those two teams field in Buffalo. You see how good teams with quality quarterback play are, like how dangerous they are, how next level those teams are compared to where the Patriots are at. And hell, we saw it for 20 years in Foxborough with Brady, how next level they were. So I think it starts with the kid. It starts with the quarterback. He has to play better, smarter, and they have to get a little bit more. I wouldn't say. I don't want to say a little bit less boring, a little bit less predictable on offense. That was kind of when that Earhart Perkins Weiss McDaniel's offense goes sour. It looks kind of ugly. Bad screen passes, lots of rushes that get stuffed up the gut. That offense when it looks bad, it looks really bad. Josh has got to do a better job. He didn't have a great game. Calling plays.
It was so fucking predictable.
Yeah.
On some of that stuff on Sunday. I don't get it. I really don't. The stuff, Gibson up the middle, Henderson. I mean, Henderson they got to get him in on more touches, and I don't give a shit unless he's practicing like total dog caca. Where the hell is Efton Chisholm III? Get him into. Why is he inactive? Why you need a spark like that? That kid better fucking play in that game on Sunday. Or I'm going to lose it. Unless he totally sucked at practice, which I cannot believe. Why was he inactive in that game? Look what he has done. That kid is a spark plug. Get him in there, God damn it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Chisholm is, Pete, they believe in Douglas, and I think Douglas took the most snaps at receiver, and they believe in him. And man, I know he had a touchdown and it was a hell of a catch, but 2 catches for -2 yards is not going to get it done. To move the chains, and like you say, the lack of a slot player that's accountable and a playmaker down after down in that offense. If it's going to be Pop Douglas, dropping that ball, he had 7 targets. Those got to be, when Edelman had 7 targets, he had 6 catches or 7 catches. Same with Welker. Now, this kid's got to be, especially in that spot. So maybe that is Chisholm. Maybe he just had to wait his turn. Maybe, but that's his spot.
They could still keep Douglas. All you do is rest somebody, not play somebody else. I don't know, some 6-string state. I don't know. There are players out there. Rest Stevenson. Yeah. Don't play Stevenson. Have him inactive. I want to see Henderson and I want to see Gibson get most of the touches. So you can still keep Pop Douglas out there, but Chisholm III needs to be out there. I'm sorry.
Pete, I think it's just a matter of time before they give him his chance. I think that's going to happen this year. Like Booty popped on Sunday, but Douglas didn't, and Williams was kind of non-existent. The other rookie, and Mac Hollins was a disappointment. Mac was he all day. I expected those guys to be reliable, quality receivers, and to join Diggs, and that's a kind of a requisite if you're going to get May to develop, that he has some guys who can play. And they were kind of disappointing, for the most part. So I think like you say, I think Chisholm's going to get his chance. They're not going to be satisfied with the Douglas and the Henderson thing. Look, I like Ramondre Stevenson as much as the next guy, but when one guy averages 2.1 yards a carry and the other guy averages 5 yards a carry, don't you think behind the same offensive line in the same freaking game, don't you think you have to go to the guy who's getting the more explosive carries? And I think I think we'll see a little bit more of the rookie.
I want Henderson. Where are the wheel routes? Well, I mean, you talk about non-creativity by Josh McDaniels and some obvious play calling. We were sitting there watching with all my buddies and this big party we had, and we're all predicting all the plays, mostly that were being called, especially the runs up the middle. Just fucking, what are you doing? It's so obvious. You're better than that, man. And the Hollins thing. May overthrew him badly in one play in the first half, but I thought those had developed a little symmetry in the preseason, May and Hollins, and maybe they find it this week. The other thing too with Diggs, did he run past 10 yards before turning around and catching the ball? Did he ever do any fly patterns at all? Or they so he's just not ready to do that yet? I don't know.
You know, it's funny. My colleague Bill Burr asked one of the last questions on Sunday to May about that. Why aren't you guys throwing deeper? Why aren't there attempts to go down the field? And May kind of just he kind of stumbled through his answer, and that was really That was really a tell to me. You know, like the safeties. They were playing single high all day long. The long ball was there. They did not even try it. Because I watch that stuff. I watch the safety play. I watch where the guys stand on the field because it drives me nuts when teams put two safeties 20 yards back and they're not. You play 11 on 9 basically on defense. That's one of my pet peeves. The Raiders weren't doing. They were chances to go down the field, and either they don't trust the offensive line enough to try and protect it, or they don't think they have anybody who can run down the field and catch it. And if you talk, you mentioned Diggs. He didn't run any deep routes. Every routes they were all short, intermediate type things, and he struggled getting open. He did, and so that was a little bit tough too. Stretch the field. You talk about the off tackle runs. That's old now. Those simple off tackle runs, those were giveaway down to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You gave away for 3 yards to stay on schedule in the old cliche.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the NFL anymore. You can't waste downs in the NFL. You have to attack the other team over and over again. That's what. It's infuriating when they tackle. I'm sorry, it just is because the box was full. Unless the other team goes light, don't bother wasting time. They were probing something that wasn't there. It's just. Your opener is not the time to waste downs, Pete. And I think McDaniel wasted a lot of downs, with, hey, we're going to establish the run. I'm tired of the fucking establish the run gang. Enough. We have to stay open and intricate and as diverse as possible.
Get Travion Henderson catching the ball out of the backfield if you have to. There's a lot of things that they can do that not done. And the Diggs thing, I'm glad you confirmed that because when I rewatched the game and I was like, where the hell is he? And hopefully he'll be able to run some deeper routes because they're going to need it this week against Miami. I don't want to see Tyreek Hill and Waddle get open late and just I won't be able to handle it. I swear to God, I won't be able to handle it. I'll be in a straitjacket in a padded room by halftime if I see what I saw on defense.
How was the atmosphere there with them, Pete? Like, if they started to talk at all, is there anything coming out of the Miami locker room that's dissension type stuff? Because that's bound to happen with McDaniel.
They're cooked. This is the thing. This is what the Patriots. Talk about smelling blood in the water. It doesn't get any better than this. I think the Dolphins, even though there's some talent on that team, I think they by far were the worst team in the NFL on Sunday. And I would put the Bengals up there, even though that they won. I don't know how you win a game with 7 yards, get out, first down, 2-1. And a couple of other stats that were mind-blowing to me, how the Bengals won that game. But I would put the Giants 1A after the Dolphins of how bad they looked. Dolphins by far and away. Smell blood and go kick their butt. And, don't let them get any type of momentum. But the reaction down here, the only thing people are talking about down here, and I'm leading the way, is the Miami Hurricanes. And they are so far ahead. Nobody wants to talk about the Dolphins except that Stephen Ross isn't going anywhere, and Greer and Mike McDaniel, aka Charlie Brown, are on their way out. And I do believe at first I gave him till Thanksgiving. Then my buddy Jay Flannelly, Jay, and he said Halloween. I said okay, I'll even go with that. Now I'm thinking if Miami loses to the Patriots on Sunday, he's getting canned. I can't see how you keep him. I can't. So he's just wishy-washy. Even national people, the response he get with that pedantic blathering, okay, maybe he's not the most great orator in the world, and I understand that. When he speaks, I need a Mike McDaniel interpreter. I don't know what he's trying to say. We play the cuts all the time, and I play this wild thing under him, As
it's cringeworthy, Pete. Cringeworthy.
It's unbelievable. And people are the excuses. Even national media going, there's no conviction with this guy. Nothing. How about Tua left on the sideline after his interception the other day? That kind of stuff. it's bad. They're soft. Rex Ryan, ripped them to shreds. Orlovsky ripped them to shreds. Ho ripped them to shreds. I mean, they're getting creamed all the way around. I don't want the Patriots to give up any type of momentum that they could, because this team, the Miami Dolphins, are terrible. They have to go win this game. Tell me they can win this game. Please, Hector. Tell me
They can definitely win this game. The only route I see Miami winning is if the kid Chop goes off on the defensive line and they kind of get into the Patriots' backfield. But the Patriots have to be better, and the Dolphins do. So I am a little bit optimistic this week, even though, like you say, it's been a place where they just traditionally can't win. But forget tradition anymore. I hate saying people saying, oh, the Patriots do this and traditionally do that. It's new. That's the old Patriots. They might as well be the San Diego Chargers of the past. It's this is all new waters. So maybe, as with all the negatives that come with this being a different Patriots kind of era, maybe the Miami thing won't hurt us.
Well, from an injury point or health point, how do you think? What are we looking at right now going into? Tomorrow, the first practice of the week, Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday.
So
what are we
all
looking
eyes are on Gonzalez.
Yeah.
All eyes are on Christian Gonzalez. It's how long does a hamstring take? I mean, honest to God, and I look. So when I heard
take forever, we know baseball take forever.
Yeah, I know, but you figure these guys come back. I like I said, I'm not the one to talk. I'm not someone who is tough at all. But geez, these guys are paid to play professional football. It's like, Christian, get back on the field. This team needs you. So that'll be the focus this week: is can he get back on the practice field? Health wise, they're okay, Pete. He's really the only piece they were missing. By the end of the week, Campbell popped up in the injury report, but that was more of a precautionary, limited thing. Right now, health wise, they're solid enough. They didn't lose anybody in the game. Everybody, they rotated up front. They rotated. Guys like Keon White played half or a third of the snaps, and they rotated Tonga in the front with Baumor and Williams defensively. And, that's not an excuse here. They have to show up on Sunday. May has to show up on Sunday. He's the guy, Pete. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of popping on his shoulders, on the field. Anyways, I think McDaniels is going to take heat too. I think Vrabel is tossing bombs at McDaniels, saying, "Let's go, do the right. You got to be better." And I think that on the field, it's May. It revolves around May, and you saw it last night with McCarthy and Williams. How quickly things could turn. McCarthy looked like he was lost on the field for 2 quarters, and Williams is out there slinging it, and then all of a sudden the roles reverse. With young quarterbacks, you see how that happens. We need a quality, not just get it done performance from May.
Also coaching. I have so much respect for the Vikings coaching staff. Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores, Deacon Doyle. That special teams play at the end was Belichickian-esque in his prime, where you look at me, have run out, unbelievable clock management.
Yeah.
Last thing.
Yeah.
I've lost so much respect for Bill. I got to interview him with Glenn and Freddie and Steve for almost a little over 11 years every Monday. I had so much respect for the guy for a whole bunch of different reasons, yada, yada, yada. Girlfriend aside and all that crap. I'm so disappointed in his actions and flat out lies, to be honest with you, about not being allowed over there and this pettiness. Putting a depth chart out there, not even the first. I mean, the whole thing sucks, and I know Vrabel did address it, but just your whole thoughts on the whole thing. I mean, I can't believe how much respect I've lost for this man just in the last month.
Yeah, Pete, I'm one of those guys who really wanted to root for Belichick in North Carolina. I'm an anti-establishment guy. Stick it up the NFL's ass. Who cares, Bill? Right? Go get them. They don't, they don't want you. But man, he has made it so damn tough with the things he's done, and the scouts thing. They can go. They can if you need to see North Carolina players, they can see them on the road, and They'll see them plenty. It's just the pettiness, the axe he has to grind with not just Robert Kraft, but Jonathan Kraft, and dragging the son into it. Yo, Bill, you bring up the son. You have two sons on your staff. One of them's making $1.5 million coaching defense. Maybe you should not throw it out there that there are too many sons involved, and like it's so damn petty. It's like, bro, come on. Not both of your sons are on his staff, and look, maybe they might be great coaches. Steven might be a great coach. Brian might be a great coach. I don't know that. You don't know that because they've never, other than 1 year in Washington, they haven't left his shadow. So, look, do I feel bad for? I don't. I should never. He's got a great life. Hot young girlfriend, all the money in the world, multiple houses everywhere on Nantucket. Good for him. He's such a smart guy. You just wish he had gone out with a little more, I don't even want to say class, but class. Bill, just close out your career with some class. And it's tough, Pete. Like you say, I tell the story. If you talk to Belichick off the air, you realize how good a person he at least was. Now I shake my head. I could never not thank him for some of the things he did for me away from the microphone. He took his shots at me in press conferences, but if I ever needed something, he's there, and he's got a heart. I don't want to get into it, but he's got a big heart. You just wish that he just didn't let the small head dictate what's going on instead of the big head.
I know. Like I was telling the audience the other day, for me, when I got let go of EI in 2010, along with a whole bunch of other people around the country that day, the first one to call me was him. First one.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate was him. Something I'll never forget. And I mean, and even when I came back and came into press conferences, he always had a smile on his face, and he was always very, very good to me, as was Tom, as you know, back in the day. Before I let you go, here's a little sample on WQAM in Miami, 104.3 FM. This is last night. This is just a little sample of what they think about Tua.
I kept making the point.
This is Josh Appel.
If Tua Tagovailoa plays, the Dolphins win. Because big picture in his career, that's been the case. And then I see yesterday's game, and then I see this from Barry Jackson today. Tua and Mike McDaniel are 6-9 in the last 15 games that Tua's been available, with 14 interceptions and 8 Tua fumbles. I saw some clips from 2023 this morning, and I compared that to what I saw to yesterday from Tua Tagovailoa, and it feels like two completely different players. And I don't know if this is like the concussions catching up to him, if his hip injury is regressive, and now, like, at this point in his career, it's catching up to him. He looks slow. He looks unathletic, and he's never been the most athletic guy. We know that, but not like this.
And he just
looks like Joe Flacco doing pirouettes in the pocket, like Flacco was doing.
Rushing over. Disinterested. All right, my man. All the best. What's your week like this week? You get the day off today, so there's that.
Yeah, it is day off, but I always find something to keep busy. So, but we'll see what happens with the Patriots this week. It's a big week. I think Vrabel let that be known after the game on Sunday when he talked about, which I thought was kind of odd in week one. We'll see what kind of team we have here, what kind of leadership we have. That's kind of a week 4 thing when you're struggling, but he brought it out early, so he put it on himself. It's a big week, Pete.
It is, and if I'm not here on Monday, it's because it's some psycho ward, padded room with a straitjacket on, maybe 2. Anyway, all right, man. All the best, Hector. You're the best.
All right, Pete. We'll talk to you down the road.
Thanks a lot. Hector Longo from the Eagle Tribune here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. And we're going to take a quick break, then want to come back for just a brief segment, unless with some college football. I know you got to get some rest, but I do want to come back, take one more break. I got to Kleenex here, and and I do want to play some Mario Cristobal stuff, some other college football stuff. But any thoughts on anything?
Other than Jerry said that there has to be a backstory with Tony Gonzalez, or not Tony Gonzalez, but the other Gonzalez.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez. No, it's a hamstring injury, and I mean it's athletes use this all the time, and it's a tricky injury because you don't know. And hopefully he will be back and ready to go on Sunday. So least it's not a backstory right now, Gary. I understand where you're coming from, possibly, but it's just, as Hector said, how long does it take to heal? But everybody's different. What can I tell you? I've heard about hamstring injuries in every sport my whole life. Some guys come back after a day. Some guys come back after a year. You know?
Right. But the other thing too, it now, because it is, I hope not for your sake and for Patriots fans' sake, but I don't see Mike Vrabel losing to the Dolphins. But I mean, Monday, would that be an onslaught of ridiculousness come Monday if it happens? I just don't see it happening.
All right. We'll get to one more perspective when we come back also from Adam Schefter and the Miami Dolphins, but then I'll get some college football news too. So we'll keep going here for a little while longer here on the Pete Sheppard Show on a Tuesday here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So, wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
They're expecting the ball to come out quicker than what it did. McCarthy. Pass is caught. Spinning grab by Aaron Jones. And somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings are on top.
Yes, moving out. Vikings moving out of Soldier Field. By the way, real shitty looking Soldier Field. Gabe Morency tweeted out, our great handicapper and entertainer, early in the game. They had 5 concerts at Soldier Field in 4 days before that game. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. It wasn't as bad, though, as I thought. I thought it was going to be worse. But J.J. McCarthy and company, big turnaround in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter. They go on to beat the Bears 27-24. Pete Sheppard here with you on a terrific Tuesday for most of you. Overcast down here today, Angel. It's going to be hot and humid as usual, but for this time of year. But it's starting. There is, dare I say, a hint of autumn in the air here in Southwest Florida. Hint of autumn. This time, about 3 weeks from now, we'll be able to open the doors again and get that great cross breeze and those great, beautiful 75-degree days. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Yeah. You just experienced a winter of your own, kind of, in Wisconsin over the weekend, over the last few days from last Thursday.
Yeah, it sucked. The wind sucked. The air sucked. But, Wisconsinites, it cracks me up when they say that, but they absolutely loved it. I was like, nah, you know what? I'm good with my 90, 80 plus degree weather because it was just the transition. Like when you went through the mountains, it wasn't bad. But as soon as you start going into Illinois, it's like, what the hell is this nonsense? But whatever.
Well, thanks for everybody checking us out here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network across the video platform. On following me on Twitter, on X at PShep326, on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSDN Florida, Odyssey, SR1029, The Game, our great app. And we thank everybody for that.
Speaking of, sorry, one last thing before I forget. If you guys are trying to text or call into the show, there is a replacement that's coming. Unfortunately, one of the pieces of equipment that I use apparently went kaput when I was gone, so I have to get it replaced. Hopefully, it'll be up and running by Thursday.
So they can't call into the show?
No, not until about Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's big for guests, too, just in case we can't get the video going. So I'm working on getting Catherine Tappan on. I texted her yesterday. Usually she gets right back to me. She didn't. I'm going to try to get her on tomorrow or Thursday. I believe she was at the BC-Michigan State game this past week, which was outstanding. Outstanding football game. Unfortunately for the Eagles, they lost at 42-40 in double overtime. We'll get Meter on this week. Tomorrow we'll have Bill Sparrows on. We'll try to get Catherine on tomorrow as well. I think she's going to be on the sideline for the Notre Dame-Texas A&M game coming up in South Bend on Saturday night, one of the big games of the day as well. All right, and a lot of other great guests coming up throughout the week as well. All right, a couple of college football notes, because Angel, you got to get to, right? You're gonna sleep today, right? You're gonna get some shut eye, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll be sleeping all right with my eyes open and doing stuff. But no, I'll probably end up at one point or another taking some sort of crazy nap.
All right, let's get to Miami head coach Mario Cristobal yesterday speaking. The Canes remained at number 5, 2-0. blasted Bethune-Cookman 42-3. They didn't see a need to score 70 like some other teams, Florida State. Anyway, here's Mario Cristobal.
We had the opportunity to take almost an entire half and develop a half of our roster. And so guys got significant playing time up in the play count of 30 to 35 reps per guy, and certainly found we developed a handful of more guys that we know could help us win this season.
Yeah, and that's why they play those games, although I don't particularly care for them. I think you could schedule a low-level Division I team, but I know it's all about the money. Here is Coach Mario Cristobal on Bryce Fitzgerald.
He was like my first high school stop. I mean, again, in the fall. After that it was the number one mention. Bryce Fitzgerald is a must-get guy. He's a difference maker, and watching him play in high school and knowing him just as a young man, it's no surprise that he's caught on so quickly. He's been a great addition, and he's catching on really quickly and going to be a factor down the road here.
No question about it. No doubt about it. All right, now let's go. Let's see what he has to say. Let's on Carson Beck.
Special guy. I think we all knew that coming in, that his drive, determination, hunger to be better, to help his teammates be the best they can be. Just a very driven human being who is great to be around, man. He's special.
He is, and he's now, by many, third in the Heisman Trophy. I just didn't understand people's logic with Carson Beck coming to Miami. Health aside, I mean, if he was going to be reasonably healthy, which obviously he is right now and hopefully will be for the remainder of the season, to think that he just, was dicking around at Georgia doing nothing. Well, he's going 24-3 and had a whole bunch of, the receivers led the country in drops last year. And not to mention the offensive line wasn't particularly good as well, where he had to do everything. I just never understood why some of the people didn't think coming to a program like Miami that he wasn't going to redeem himself. He's going to be in the top 3 Heisman. I'm telling you, he is. I don't expect Cam Ward type of numbers, but I think he'll come fairly close. Here's Mario Cristobal on USF and the Bulls.
Yeah, they're probably not ranked high enough, quite honestly. Just haven't played them before, and watching the continual development of their roster and their program, the evolution of their game. I mean, their quarterback. That's a great example. Everyone talks about how athletic their quarterback is, but no one talks about the fact that he hasn't thrown an interception in 240 plus attempts, which leads to super accurate. Gets the ball out on time, can extend plays, and just a special player. And the part that stuck out to me was the physicality of both the offense and defensive lines, the speed on the field in their secondary, and actually their linebackers. Their linebackers run sideline to sideline. They're very active, disruptive defense they carry a very large menu into a game. They multiple fronts, multiple coverages. They do an excellent job, and they're a great football team.
Yeah, Alex Golis doing a great job of company with the Bulls. Mario also addressed the Bulls' defensive line.
Just a really good coaching staff, really good football team, just tons of athletes. They revamped the entire D-line in the portal. All 4 guys up front, are guys that came in, and they're all tough, physical, active dudes that have a lot of experience. So really good football team.
All right, more from Mario Cristobal.
Well, that's something that I think was since the day we arrived, we really want to stress being where your feet are, right? Understanding that in college football, every single week you play, humility is 1 week away, and everybody has good players. And if you don't prepare, you're going to get your butt kicked. In this particular case, there's absolutely nothing to say. This is as good of a football team as we have played or will play the entire season. And the evidence is all over the tape, So we practice a certain way, we prepare a certain way, and we got to get a hell of a lot better to accomplish the stuff we want to accomplish. And it started with practice this morning, meetings and whatnot, and we're going on from there.
All right, and finally, one more from Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, cutting down on some mental errors.
You know what? We've cut down on missed tackles. We've cut down a bunch on mental mistakes. There's something that's to be said about continuity. And on offense, obviously, we've had continuity now going into our 3rd year. And on defense, even though it's a fresh start on defense, the regiment, the structure, the teaching mechanisms that go with it, I mean, it advances quickly. And it's systematic. It's not you're not just grabbing at, whatever you feel you should, throw in there to help you be successful. It's very systematic and it's very detail oriented. So I think we've gained a lot of ground in that department. And I think one of the things that, and we better stay this way, we've made a lot of good decisions post snap, like post whistle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had guys get their face mask grabbed, punched in the crotch, all that other stuff that happens in football.
Ouch.
And not retaliate to get a dumb 15-yard penalty. So we're getting a lot better at the things that help you, play winning football.
Yeah, unlike the Gators, who at the end of the game against USF, spit at a player. I mean, that's what he means, and you got to be the bigger man with the Canes, or just walk away. Do not fall for it, because they always get the retaliator. They never get the antagonist usually, unless you spit at somebody. Idiot Gators, stupid. Are you going to be? By the way, are you going to go cover the game in Miami? Just out of curiosity, I'm not going, but I mean, it's asking if you're going to be there.
I will probably know by Friday.
Get there early. If it's anything like the Notre Dame game. And it should be, I don't expect it to be 66,000 people, but it should be. I'm sure, hey, I was very happy to see all those USF fans in Gainesville at the Swamp. Yep. I don't know how much you got to see the game, but because I know you're traveling, but that was pretty impressive. So I expect nearly a full capacity crowd, because I think USF, obviously, it's not that far.
No, it's not.
Hour. Yeah.
No, but I caught some of the highlights. It was good to see a lot of the folks that were up there. They made the journey up to Gainesville, which was very nice. But I will probably know at least by Friday. So if you hear a knock at your door about midnight, hey, Pete, I'm here. And then Pete feet to Miami.
You're closer to Miami than me. For me to get there, it's not really downtown Miami. It's Coral Gables. It's more like it's more Hollywood, really, Fort Lauderdale than Miami. It's exactly, with decent traffic, for me from Fort Myers, about an hour and 52 minutes, which I probably think is about the same for you, right?
No, it'll be a little bit longer than that. It's actually shorter to get to your house than it is over there to Miami.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But well, you're always welcome. But this would be a bad detour, because then you're going 2 hours my way, then 2 hours the other way.
Yeah, no, I was saying it sarcastically, but either way, on the way back, I'll toot the horns. Hey, I'll come in through the speakeasy door that nobody ever knows about except for me.
I just wish that ride on Alligator Alley is just so. Thank God I have like so many apps on my phone, audiobooks, Pandora, nonstop comedians, put any music on that I want. Because that is like just the word. I hate driving anyway, but I hate that stretch of Alligator Alley. There's just nothing. There's just nothing. And when you finally like start to see right at the end, before you exit to get to Hard Rock or wherever you're going in Hollywood, and you don't even see any buildings. I mean, there's a couple of rest stops, but nothing. It's so freaking boring. I hate it. I hate making that drive. I don't know how people do it. I know some people do it on a daily basis. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? I just can't.
Compared to where I just came from, that'd be like a walk in a park, because that'd be absolutely nothing.
There's nothing on that road. And anyway, all right, a couple more college cuts, and we'll call it a day. How about this? Head coach of the Texas Longhorns, Steve Sarkisian, questions where a reporter got a tip that Arch Manning was, quote unquote, hurt.
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
quarter.
who? Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he
doesn't have any.
Is there an explanation to why it looked like that?
I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
All right.
Not bad. Thanks again there from Texas Longhorn Radio, or their webpage, I should say. Here's Dusty Dvorak saying he loves what he sees from Oklahoma Sooners QB John Mateer. This is from Sirius XM College Football Radio.
When John Mateer came in, as impressive and important as the physical attributes were, I thought that the mental side of what he brought, the confidence that, and kind of like what Thomas Castellanos has brought to your Florida State Seminoles, you've seen it in Tallahassee. John Mateer has a swagger to him and a confidence about him and a chip on his shoulder, very similar to Baker Mayfield. And I don't like to compare players, and I don't want to put that on John Mateer. I'm just telling you, from when he got there in January to what I saw in the spring to all throughout the summer, it had those kind of vibes. And the impact that he brought from the mentality standpoint, from the confidence standpoint, and the leadership where everybody's following that dude. And when you get something like that in the locker room, it's infectious. It permeates within everyone. And I thought we saw that on Saturday night. I thought, and boy, it does not take long for a guy like Thomas Castellanos or a guy like John Mateer, when you've got that and you perform on that stage in front of those fans, like how quickly that becomes your program and your stadium, right? I saw it in week 1 in Tallahassee. I saw it again in week 2 there with John Mateer.
All right. Good stuff there. All right, let's end with this, Angel. I just came across this. And thanks to our good friends at Total Sports Prep for the best articles in audio. There's only one source that provides everything you need 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff combing through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them, info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. That's info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. Now, the Nebraska Cornhuskers were home in Lincoln, Nebraska, this past Saturday, Angel Martinez, playing the mighty Zips of Akron, okay?
Okay.
From the mighty Mac. Nebraska is up 33-0 at halftime, and this halftime speech by Matt Rule got leaked.
I'm talking. Maybe I just have a different standard. I don't like them freaking moving the ball. They're dropping back at the end of the half.
Like, the head coach of Nebraska now.
John said, they'll take a knee here. They'll run the ball. They don't fear you. They don't respect you enough yet. And if that sounds like coach speak, then you have the wrong brain. They're dropping back against our starting defense. They're cutting our own line at the end of the half. All you young guys, just go back there and chill. I want my opportunity. Some of you guys will get an opportunity right now. I told you I don't care what the score is. I told you I care what the tape looks like. Did I trip when the ball was fumbled? No, I don't care what happens in the game. I want to see what the next play is. You have one half. Defense, you have one half. If they try to drop back and throw it, and that quarterback's not on the ground, I want new guys in there rushing. I want them hit. I want them never to say our name again. You believe the fact with 43 seconds left, they just gave us the ball back. They went down 33, and they're still dropping back. They had the balls to cut you. I thought you guys get the ball. You put it down and score. You made me put the freaking red and the white in. And you guys get in, you go play. I don't care what the score is. Troy told you shutouts are precious. We almost gave them a shutout. I want them I don't want them ever to say our name again. That's the killer instinct I asked about. Not what does my hair look like? What do I look like in the freaking mirror? I walk in the guys in the mirror checking themselves out.
There's more coming up in a second. It reminds me of Robert De Niro in The Untouchable. I want him dead. I want his family dead. Here we go.
You got a chance at a shutout. You guys got a chance of freaking hanging a score around here we haven't hung in a long time. We don't work hard enough to go take what we want. Go take what you want. You want to get in the game? DJ, you run your ass up on all those routes all week. Now you got a chance to get in the game, maybe. If your brother and your brothers will put them away. It's about time people say, I don't want to schedule those guys anymore. I don't want to play those guys anymore. And if my standard's too high, then leave. And if you're with me, go out there and do not, I don't want to see a smile. I don't want to see nothing silly. I want to see a bunch of guys locked in that want to make a team quit. I don't know why he showed you guys Bronx Hill at the end of it. You know what he said to that guy after beating out that biker gang? He said, look at me. I did this to you. He wasn't scared to make sure that guy knew who he was. I did this to you. When you're shaking their hand at the end of the game, they better have that look in their eye. You did it to them. It's supposed to be 33-0. It's supposed to be that score. Now what's the second half supposed to look like? I'll see you guys on the field.
Wake up!
Yes, chef.
Wake up!
Yes, chef.
Cook the spinach to order, you lazy cow. Hurry up!
Yes.
Fuck off!
Watch my stuff, please.
Get in there! What's wrong with you?
Nothing, chef.
Look at me. Hey, look, you ignorant bitch. Look at my fucking eyes when I'm talking to you.
Yes, chef.
What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to work, chef. I'm
trying
to communicate.
Wake up!
Yes, chef.
You! What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Yeah, get a grip!
You got it.
Hey, hello, come here, donkeys. Here we go. What is that?
It's all right.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Fuck off, will you? Fuck off. Okay? Useless fucking pieces of shit. Raw! Raw! Oh, shit! Fucking shit!
We fired 2 salmon, 1 tagliatelle.
Fine dining! A fine fucking mess! Madam! Madam! Madam!
Yes, sir.
Take your jacket off and fuck off!
Chef, don't say that, please.
Good Lord.
Now, let me tell you, Matt Rule, I mean, you know, God bless you. In the words of Sergeant Hulka in Stripes, lighten up, Francis. Lighten up, Matt Rule. And so it's 33-0 at halftime. He delivers that really inspiring Herb Brooks type of speech. Not. And the Cornhuskers come out and win the second half 35-0 on their way to a 68-0 win. And if I am not mistaken, Angel Martinez, and I'm looking it up right now against the mighty Akron Zips. The mighty Akron Zips are 0-2, and they haven't scored yet this year. They lost home against Wyoming 10-0, and then got blasted in Lincoln 68-0. They haven't scored yet. If Matt Rule wants to use that kind of like motivation tactic against the Akron Zips, I'm not sure if that's going to go over too well. I think that goes in one ear and out the other. So demanding a shutout, he got it. Kicker Frackford missed a field goal, dunked off the crossbar in the game. But, you know, I didn't watch that game. It seems like a lot of fourth and fifth string starters would be playing for most of that game as well. There's only 9-0 after the first, but 24 points in the second quarter, 33-0 at the half, 68-0 final. Lighten up, Matt Rule. Lighten up. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't want people. He's like, I don't want people to. What do we say? Something about when they schedule us. It's fucking Akron, one of the worst teams in the country, and from the MAC, which I love the MAC, as most of you know. But Akron is terrible. They haven't scored a point yet. I mean, you might as well. There are FCS teams that play better than they do. And then they play Houston Christian coming up. Nebraska does. Then they're home against Michigan in 2 weeks. Let's see what kind of speech he gives then. See what happens. We'll see what happens there. All right, Angel Martinez. That's going to do it. What is coming up here? Let me get some good going away music. I should get some good welcome back music too. I'll do this. All right, what's coming up today on the network?
Coming up today will be K4 Wins. That'll be coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and then at 1 p.m. Eastern will be Duncan Dad with Ain't That Right.
K4 Wins, 13-3, baby. 13-3. My best bet, the Rams -3. Anyway, those guys do a great show. They really delve into the numbers, so I would give it a listen and take advantage of their picks. No question about it. All right, back tomorrow. Bill Sparrows will join me at one point tomorrow, and a few other guests as well. Thanks to Angel Martinez, and welcome back, Angel Martinez. And we will talk tomorrow on Hump Day Wednesday at 7 in the a.m. Everybody, talk soon. I am Pete, back here in the Coastal Sports Digital Network tomorrow at 7 a.m. See ya.